Hey everybody, welcome to the barn. This is my new F12 and can't go live here because I'm poor Wi-Fi or no Wi-Fi in the barn and poor cell service. So I'll post this video, and when I post it I'll go live to answer any questions if you have any. So I'll start at the back here and go through it. Nucanoe, I went with the Nucanoe brand cart. Let's see how that works out. Not real sure. This is my 360 light LED found on Bass Pro. Had external wires and is removable from the base, so I could attach a yak power plug and remove it easily when not in use. I'm going to get a couple electrical pipe conduit clamps to go probably 1/2 inch to mount here and here, and then I can run my flag right up next to the light here, so I don't get ran over by a big boat. Battery, I just bought the canoe, the trolling motor, and the fish finder. So the money was gone before I could get to the nice fancy battery. So we're still running a 24 series deep cycle lead acid battery. Works great. It's just heavy. Got a clamp down here. I got it all the way as far back as I could get it. One thing I'd wish I'd done differently was move the plug back here more, so it's not right next to the battery, giving me more room for the plug, so the wires aren't bent at an angle. Works fine, but bugs me a little bit. Yak gear crate, a couple sets of the Berkeley rod tubes, got them tilted to the back slightly for a little bit more room. Some no stretch anchor line, some loop knots onto the T-bolts, just to, so there's no stretch, everything's solid again, and it's all pulling toward the back for space and to keep everything solid. Got some extra room here if I want to slide my seat back, put my lunch back there, put my net back there, not real sure. Plenty of room to spin the seat around for gear or to get a rod out. One thing I did notice when I had this on the water, the one time I had it out, was I had a box under my seat and it slid so far back I couldn't reach it. So I made a piece of sheet metal and bent this over and made a backstop for under my seat. Now, water can still move, but my box is going to stay up here where I can reach it. Found a guy on eBay that made these nice cup holders. They got a few different configurations. I didn't want anything too fancy, just something to hold maybe some pliers and some clippers and something to drink. So I did drill a hole in the bottom of this cup holder. Catch board, I have it tethered off here. Put the short end on the seat. That way if I'm fun fishing, the long end stays with the board in my truck. I'm trying a canoe paddle this year. I think it's going to keep me drier in the spring. The old paddle holder, I wasn't a big fan of this material. I replaced it with this orange bungee that slipped over the same anchor that held this thing. And this hook for the paddle holder is not centered on the bungee, but the hole to hook for this is in the center of the strap, so it's pulling at an angle. Doesn't like to stretch so well in the cold, so I got rid of that. And I'm trying this out. It's not quite as tight, which I don't really think I need it to be. The cup holder, since I bought another cup holder, this cup holder here, didn't really see a need for that, so that's gone too. I tried to mount everything here on the right side, since I have the switchblade transducer arm, my fish finder, phone holder, paddle, catch board, cup holder, everything's here on the right side. That frees up the whole left side to lay a rod down the left side and up into the tip protector up there if I want. Phone holder, just have it tethered here, magnetic. The magnet is on the base for the switchblade. Borrowed my son's phone for his for demonstration. Sam told me about these wire covers from TRC. Work great, look good, hide all these ugly wires. All my transducer wiring and power wires are inside of this tube. To do that, I took a scrap piece of wood, put 2 nails in it, left one of the nails kind of loose, wrapped the wires around it, got it all nice and tight, put a couple tie wraps on it, pulled out one of the nails, and slipped the whole bundle of wire off, wrapped it in electrical tape, and got rid of the tie wraps so it was smooth, and then stuffed it inside of that, the wire cover, to make it nice and clean. Let's see, keep moving on. I got the power that feeds everything on my dashboard is plugged in here. Enough slack in it to where I can move the dashboard back and forth if I need to, and then I can unplug it and just remove the dashboard along with everything on it in one piece. XI3 with the 36-inch shaft, with the pinpoint GPS. I attached this carabiner here with a couple of clamps that'll keep it clocked a certain way, indexed a certain way to where when I pull up on my rope, it will lay into the bracket correctly. That's one thing I did notice when I had it out on the water. So the motor wants to stand straight up and down, and you kind of have to use your paddle to turn it to get it to go into the lock into the bracket. But with this setup, it's should be able to pull it up right into the bracket. I mounted a pad eye on my hatch here so that when I pull on this cable or in this rope, it pulls down on the foot pedal to unlock the motor. And then I should be able to pull up on this. Lock back in. Unlock this. And then a little shove. Then when I release it again, I will have to give a little bit of a shove with the paddle. Get it to go back out. And then it's down. Let's see here. I'm sure you're probably wondering what these things are. But having the rest of this dashboard open allows me to sit a couple rods up here. So if I'm 2 or 3 primary rods I'm fishing with, I can have them right here. Easy to grab without having to turn around and get them out of that tube. And I had a setup last year where I had all my rod storage was in front of me. I really liked it, so I tried to find a way to kind of use that here, and I think this is going to work out fine. I should be able to lay a rod along here, along the side, into the tip holder up there, and then have 2 or 3 laid up next to the motor there. And then if I'm carrying more than that, I got the tubes in the back to carry the spares. I did install a USB port here. It's over on the right side near my phone. It's powered straight off of the accessory battery. I do have the here I have the yak power switching system. Then in the storage box inside here, I have my, it's Velcro down, my 12 amp hour accessory battery, my first aid kit, my DNR repellent, screwdriver. Probably got to get some more things in here. Sunscreen, and emergency poncho, and things like that can go in there. The USB ports are charged or is run from this connector I stole at work off of a wrecked car, and it's that way it's not on the switching system. If I have to charge, my phone operates the switching system. So I don't want, if my phone is dead, I don't want to have to turn on I won't be able to turn on the USB charger with my phone if the phone is dead. So I ran a wire separately to the USB charger. And then the rest of the accessories are powered through the yak power switching system. Here. It's under there. All this is back in. mostly it. I do want to show you the lighting and how that works. Turn the lights off in here. To unplug, take this phone off the tether. And let's see. All right. Number one on this switching system is the fish finder, which is powering up. The B, supposedly the bow, mid, and stern, but I put my bow lights and my stern light on the same circuit. So if I'm using one, I'm probably using them both. And if it's not plugged in, it's not going to work. So it doesn't really matter. So the B, now my 360 light is on. So my M for the mid lights, which is, I got some blue lights here, for night fishing. Something not too bright, but enough to where I could tie a knot or see what I can do a little bit. I think my biggest challenge is to remember that these are not foot pegs. Side, S is for stern, but to me, S is for side. These are bright. Just additional lighting for night. I'll probably run these when I'm out running on a big lake where there's big boats, just for added safety, also for night fishing. I'm also trying to find some black lights to use as well for night fishing, and there is nothing on the accessory spot 2 as I've left it freed up for that purpose. So I can turn all this stuff off. And we're back dark again. Any questions? Like I said, I'll be on in the chat on Facebook. Hit me up. I'll answer what I can. Any suggestions for me? I'd love to hear it. I'm always trying to make things better. One thing if anybody else with a new canoe, another tip is decals. Decals do not like to stick to this thing. But what I found is sand it. Get some. I think this is 320 grit. Yeah, 320 grit paper on a DA works pretty good. Clean it with the denatured alcohol. I've been using the heat gun to warm the spot where the decal is going and also warm the decal itself. And after the decal is on and seems to be sticking fairly well, some matte clear paint, and I'm just misting it on. If you like really soak it on there, the paint is gonna eat the decal, and it's gonna orange peel and pretty much just slide off. So I've just done multiple coats of the matte clear over all the decals, just the light misting, just so you're not melting the decal material with the paint. And it seems to work well. Your lake permit sticker was a tough one to get to stay on. These numbers that I made, I have a decal machine at work, so I was able to print out my numbers. Everything was just tough to stick to this boat. One other thing I did was use some PVC and a heat gun and molded myself a guard here and glued it on with some clear silicone. That was a pain in the ass, and I will never do it again. And that really about does it. One thing I did do was found a tote that was, I think it's 28 inches long. Longer than my catchboard. But this will hold my dashboard, my catchboard, my PFD, my 360 light, my rod tip holding board here is just velcroed on my motor bracket, so it will come off, and will fit in that tote as well, and then just slide in the back seat of my truck, so I can keep everything together and save space. All right, tight lines, everybody.